Welcome back to Open Line. If you're just joining us here at the half hour, first of all, thank you. We appreciate you being with us. Tonight we are talking about inflation, and I know it is a topic that is hitting all of us very hard right now. We're all looking for the light at the end of the tunnel. We have Professor Julio Rivas joining us from Lipscomb University. Been having a great conversation trying to understand this more. Unfortunately, as we are learning, there is not one answer or one solution about how we got here or how we get out of it.
No.
But as Taylor brought up, our last caller, he was talking primarily about the housing market, having lived through this before in the 70s, early 80s, because we have seen this before. We are in a particularly crazy housing market in Nashville.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on how inflation is impacting all this and where we're going?
Yeah, well, we can see that there has been inflation on the housing market here for quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's I assume when Taylor did this in late 70s, early 80s, interest rates were very high. You know what I mean? And I've spoken with people that lived during that time, and if I'm not mistaken, and like mortgage rates went all the way up to 18% or something completely absurd, insane. Back then, there were not a lot of people moving into Nashville, right? So you know, I mean, there were people moving from one city to another, but I don't think that was as crucial as it is right now. The fact that we have a lot of people moving into town, that will keep the prices up in my viewpoint. Especially because, well, going back to supply and demand, I mean, even though more houses are being built, there's more people that need housing than houses available, right? So that creates an extra demand, which will push prices up. You know what I mean? How many people have? I've met people that have sold their houses and they get paid I don't know how much more above asking price.
Yeah.
Why? Because people that want to have a house, they want to make sure that they get a house. So
and right now, I mean, even with those interest rates going up, with the Fed lifting those interest rates already, it hasn't slowed things down here.
Sure.
Let's talk about the Fed a little bit, because I think that even when we report in the news, the Fed did this, the Fed did that. It seems like this faraway group. And it's like, what exactly is the Fed and what do they do? But one of their main jobs is to control inflation.
Sure. Oh yeah.
And some people say they have failed miserably.
Yes. It's. I would say, well, you know, it's. Inflation is one of their jobs. Promoting employment is another one of their jobs. You know, but at this point, we've seen. Well, you know, how do you promote employment? It's as one of the other callers was saying. I mean, it's a lot of people don't want to work, and that's true. You know, I mean, and if there's less people available to work, the people that are available are going to be more expensive. But also. You know, the classic way in which they can control inflation is, well, with interest rates. Also, well, there's another ways, like banks need to have reserves. You know, they need to have a certain reserve requirement. As if I'm not mistaken, the reserve requirement now is $0. So banks can lend all the money that they have, you know. So if banks can lend money, you know, there's more money circulating in the economy as well, and that will bring prices up. So there's a whole different variety of things that the Fed can do, you know. But definitely the most common one and the one that is going to be the most impactful for us right now, it's going to be an increase in interest rates.
And just again, so people sitting at home, because you're the finance professor here, you know, people hear, oh, increase of interest rates, not good. But maybe how could that actually help bring down inflation?
Sure. Well, you know, it's very. I mean, for example, you want to buy a $500,000 house, right? And if your interest rate goes up by 1%, that means an extra $5,000 of interest a year. You know, I mean, it goes down as you pay out your debt. You know, so it makes you think, well, you know, am I really gonna want to pay an extra $5,000 of interest? Well, you know what? I might hold on and not spend that money because credit is getting more expensive. I would say on one side, people will have a better incentive for saving. If interest rates go up, you get more money. The stock market, that's. I mean, I'm just gonna touch a little bit on it because that's a league of its own. But with the stock market, when interest rates go up, usually tends to go down. You know, so people will put money in the market, you know, because you know, if it goes down,
buy low.
Yes, you know, and so money, we have less money circulating in the economy and more money going into these financial instruments that are gonna hopefully deliver in the future.
What will be our indicators, first of all, that that things are starting to get better? Because we all want to see that light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Do you see any of those indicators right now?
Oof, I would say one of the easier indicators for all of us to see it's gas prices. You know? I mean, that's a very simple indicator for all of us. You know, it's gas is very interesting because we know that prices can go up or down, right? And when they go up, they usually go up really quickly, right? When they go down, they usually take their time. You know, they're not in a hurry to come down, right? I mean, which in a business sense, it makes sense. You know, it is a logical thing to happen. But I would say once gas prices start to go down, that's going to be a good sign for us, you know? and because you know, we all use cars, but also businesses need transportation. You know, you buy things online, they need to be delivered, so that delivery truck needs transportation. Or you know, if they ship, you know, if they use ships, you know, boats, airplanes, all of them need gas. And that is, you know, if that goes down, that's going to be very good for all of us.
At the same time, though, if gas prices go down, we have more money to spend, right? In other ways.
Yes,
so, you
yes.
know, it's like, when will we reach that, I guess, tipping point where things kind of just go back to the way they were?
Yeah, I would say, yeah. I mean, that will be the function of increasing interest rates. You know, like there will be less money circulating, then you know things are gonna get stabilized, and then we're gonna figure out that the economy is not growing as fast as we want, so let's push it, you know, and that's gonna happen. But yeah, I was reading and surveys from Bloomberg actually, and economists think that inflation is gonna go down next year. You know, I mean, they say they expect it to be half of what it is right now next year. You know, and the following year in 2024 even less. You know, so a lot of economists are optimistic that this is just gonna happen for right now. I surely hope that is the case.
Yeah.
I mean, but there needs to be measures, you know, and a lot of these measures might not be very popular among people, you know, but they're necessary.
Like what? Like the interest rate hike or anything else?
And interest rate hike, you know, it's things get more expensive. You know, if you need to buy a house in Nashville, you know, and interest rates go up, I mean, your monthly payment is going to go up, you know, and certainly I understand, well, that is really an issue, you know, and businesses will, you know, it will be harder for businesses to have loans, you know, so
right.
Yeah.
So that's not like, I mean, there is going to be pain in the relief.
Yes.
It almost doesn't make sense,
Yeah.
but that's how it works, right?
Yes. Unfortunately, it is the way, you know. But then once the economy cleans itself, if we may, you know, once we find a way in which, you know, we correct the way and we find a new way to go up, we're gonna go up, you know. And that has happened in the past, you know. I mean, it's 2007, 2008, we had a terrible recession, you know, terrible recession, and there had to be a major cleanup, you know, and we were able to handle it. I don't think this is going to be a 2008 scenario, you know. I mean, I don't think we're even close, you know. I mean, but
yeah, you can't predict the future. You didn't bring your crystal ball with you, right?
Yes. If I could do that, you know, like
you'd have a different job.
Oh, I will have a different job. Yeah. I would be. Yeah.
All right, we're going to take another quick commercial break. When we come back, love to sneak in a few more phone calls. 615-737+. We're talking about inflation. Coming right back.